and hello from Cotswold Country Flowers in Gloucestershire on the Cotswold edge. I'm going to whiz around the garden with you. It is the 9th of August today, so my garden tours seem to be merging into one at the minute. So we've got a bit from the end of July, the aerial views from the end of the July. 9th of August today. We've had a little bit of rain in the last couple of weeks, which has saved the day. And so my succession sowing is coming on now. There's a lot of repeats. I've got a lot of cosmos, a lot of scabious in particular. Zinnias have loved this weather, and the dahlias are really getting into their stride as well. So let's take a look at what's been going on. But before I do, these fantastic agapanthus, just coming towards the end now. They are whoppers. I've got 4 pots of them. They seem to love it here on the patio. So it's a bit of a windy day today, but actually it's a great day to see the movement in the grasses all along this border here, which I'm really delighted that this is taking shape. The statice here has certainly doubled in size since the rain. The frosted explosion grass, again, that's worked very well. That's just starting to really explode now. I love this white statice, again, really useful. And the cosmos, well, what can I say? Cosmos is one of my favourites. So this part of the garden doesn't get any water at all, apart from just a little bit to get the plants established, then they have to get on with things. The snapdragons, some of them coming with a second flush as well. And on the other side, this first batch of phlox creme brulee and cherry caramel is looking fab and really starting to get quite tall now. The helichrysum is a great focal. For the end of the summer, and they just keep going on and on. And again, they benefit from dry weather. The Gilia tricolour, I'm just letting that romp away there. Again, more helichrysum. And the dahlias needs pulling out really, but we've got some seed heads in there that are quite pretty. I'm really pleasantly surprised how the sweet peas have had a bit of a resurgence. Smell divine. The autumn sown have definitely snuffed it, but the spring sown this recent rain has just given them a bit of a boost, which has been great. I have got some nasturtium at the ready, starting to climb through, so that when these do fade off, I'll have some colour on my sweet pea arch. And in the foreground, the zinnia are loving all this hot, dry weather. I've got 2 or 3 different sorts here. This is a cactus senorita here, Cinderella lilac, and another one at the end, which I can't remember, Coral Beauty, I believe. And I've planted some Amivasnaga, which is just starting to come into flower now. It's a little bit short, but it's going to give me a bit of an umbellifer. Fingers crossed, no carrot fly yet. And just look at the Cosmos apricota. This was sown 4th of March. So this is my earliest sowing, and got in the ground in between the ranunculus, and they were still flowering, coming to the end but flowering. So yeah, look at them billowing around in this wind. They look fantastic. And then behind them I've got some white Purity and cupcakes. So I'm using a lot of these at the moment, and I've got successions coming along as well. In fact, so this was a later sowing, 17th of April, so yeah, almost 6 weeks later, and it's just starting to come into flower now. So that's hopefully going to keep me going until the end of the summer. So I've got my succession sowing right this year. Amazingly, these scabiosa were autumn sown, and they're still going. Just have to keep deadheading them. And the stems are getting thinner, but I'm still working with them for the time being anyway. And this is a second succession of beautiful phlox, again, cherry caramel and creme brulee, and a second flush of the antirrhinum. They've loved some rain as well. The Discovery apples are amazing at the minute. And more amazing zinnia. Probably my favourite is this Queen Red Lime. Absolutely adore it. And I've got this earmarked for a wedding at the end of August. Fingers crossed. Every year I like to try something a little bit different, and this year this is this Centaurea Americana, or Aloha Rosa. Yeah, it's such fun, such fun. Other things to note here, I've grown sunflowers again this year. I didn't grow them last year. It's a slightly different variety, but it's a multi-headed one, Saluna Lemon. So that's coming into flower, more Cosmos apricota. So plenty of succession with that, and some scabiosa, all sorts of things going on. Few cornflowers too, still going, still hanging in there. These were spring sown. So like a lot of things, the perennials have struggled this year with the heat, and they flowered and have finished off already. Few things still going strong, the Verbena bonariensis, the Gypsophila paniculata. Unfortunately, the gooseneck loosestrife has struggled with the heat. It was a bit too congested. And the Echinopsis has finished flowering as well as the Achillea the Pearl. So the Biennials are doing pretty well. They've been potted on into their smaller modules. Here are the foxgloves. They were sown right at the beginning of June with my seed to vase group. So foxgloves, wallflower, I've only just potted these on into slightly bigger pots this morning. And I've got Hesperus, which was being munched by a caterpillar. And that's about it. Yeah, so Hesperus, foxgloves and wallflowers. Oh, the Sweet William are inside, let me show you. The scented pelargonium smells divine. These are more biennials. And yeah, interesting story with my Sweet Williams. My bought seed had very disappointing germination, so this was my saved seed. You can tell how amazingly prolific it is. So that's a white one, saved seed, so I'm going to have a zillion seeds, but we've got a community project that I'm hoping to be able to donate these to once we've potted them on. The honesty, however, ooh, yeah, I still don't think there's much sign of germination here. Let's take a look in the bigger greenhouse, which is a bit of a jungle. Quite a lot of things have self-seeded. Yeah, I'll show you. I'm tiptoeing through the self-sown Panicum Frosted Explosion. I did actually sow from seed the Amaranthus Velvet Curtains here, but not this one. So this one's self-seeded. I think those I planted there. I've got some zinnias here, way bigger than the ones outside. They love the heat. And so far, touch wood, no green fly. So tons of ladybirds this year, which is great news. And then another unusual one, I've got a celosia here that I've not grown before, a salmon one. Here it is, isn't it a beauty? So again, I've got a wedding at the end of August, I've got my eye on for this. And finally, the bit you've all been waiting for, let's take a look at the dahlias. And here they are in all their glory. So most of what you can see flowering has been in the ground all winter. There's still a few that haven't yet flowered, which were new ones this year, or maybe propagated from cuttings. So they are still taking a while to come through. As you know, I'm rubbish at watering, so they've had very, very little in the way of water, and we didn't have any rain for a good couple of months. So with that in mind, they've done extremely well. Evelyn is probably one of my real givers, so love using this, love all the oranges and dark ones, and then some nice yellow ones, this lovely wine-eyed Jill, and all the white asters. So yeah, something for everyone. Finally, before it completely goes to seed, just take a look at this auroch. This is the green version, and it's actually a lovely reddy pink version. Look at the size of it, and I pinched it out. So this would be so dramatic in a large installation, and I'm hoping to be able to use it at the end of the month, but it might have gone over too much. But I do quite like, as the seeds turn, the colour that it's going, so long as they don't shed too much, fingers crossed. And just a reminder that this time of the year is fantastic for seed saving. So these are Lavatera, and my goodness, you can get millions of, literally millions of seeds from these. So this is just, each one of these is from one floret, one flower. Thanks so much for joining me again on my cutting flower journey. So although all these dahlias are flowering beautifully, I'm actually going to deadhead every single one. I'm going away for a couple of days, and I want to make sure that when I come back, I've got flowers to cut, because these ones will be too far over to use next week. So it seems very drastic, but it's definitely worth doing. See you next time.